Hello, guys. Welcome back to S3D. And today I want to talk about a very, very, very controversial topic. And this is something that I did not really understand until recently, after the whole Lion Man incident. So apparently, uh, there's a subgenre in the toy community, and that this little subgenre actually been going on for a while because a lot of people actually show up on the radar for this kind of stuff, and I guess apparently the Lion Man, uh, you know, he is one of those people who hunts for these type of people on social media, on YouTube and stuff like that. In fact, technically some of his content involving him hunting pedos. And yeah, he just go on other people's channel. Actually, apparently a lot of people does this. They go through people's content and then look for disturbing stuff, and then start building like a like a narrative around that individual being a pedo and stuff like that. It is actually very disturbing, and there are a lot of people creating this type of content, targeting other people. A lot of it seems like it's all false allegations, because I don't think any people actually get in trouble other than being have their reputation ruined. Like remember Pro Jared a couple years ago? His name got dragged through the mud. His wife divorced him and all kind of crazy stuff. That was actually the most disturbing thing I've seen in a while. But this whole lion guy situation also restarted the whole thing. Now, the thing is, he does actually make inflammatory content, and he called himself a pedo hunter too, a pedo hunter, whatever you want to call it. And he ruffles some feathers, and now it seems like a lot of things are actually backfiring on him. For a person who proclaimed to be a man of God and also having a clean closet, there's quite a few skeletons that people are exposing. But the thing is, here is my problem with this whole situation. I don't think regular citizens should be out there creating this type of content. Most people doing it are doing it for views. They're not doing it, to actually catch a predator or anything like that. They just want to get their 15-second of fame. It's like, oh yeah, I brought these people to the people's attention, and a lot of these allegations seems like bogus, seems like false, just because someone have contact with underage individuals on the Discord server, having a dialogue or having, a chat. No, actually, a lot of this chat looks really, really disturbing. But, this is not a job for regular citizens. Like, being an internet detective for scams and stuff like that, that's fine. That's white collar crime. People get fined. Maybe there's some jail time. But this is serious stuff, man. This is like like accusing people of doing this kind of stuff. People actually get locked away for a long time, and they're going after everybody. I feel like the number one target for this type of pedo hunters is they target people who does like brick construction toys, because a lot of kids watch brick toys, right? And I remember this is the one of the decision I decided to make, to get rid of all my brick toy content. I went into high end adult collectibles, because a lot of people telling me like there are a lot of predators who are doing brick based construction toys, and if you want to stick in this genre, you better be like the cleanest person on the planet. Otherwise, like all it takes is for you to say a couple things and they can ruin you. Well, it depends on how popular you are. They don't go after people who are like super, like, super duper small, under 20,000 subscribers. But apparently, I guess like the Lion Man make enough inflammatory content that he too became a target for everybody. And they don't just like do content like like one or two people doing content. This is like a lot of people just bombarding YouTube about this particular person. I think the the stuff gained traction, and now everybody wants to, everybody wants to get a cut of the views, stuff like that. But I feel like it's also a coordinated effort because they gather evidence for years on these people, and then all these people just drop a humongous like a nuclear bomb on that particular person. And honestly, in the last couple of years, I have seen a lot of people's name came up with these group of people. Apparently, they have a long history of like building profiles on people, and I think it's all insane because these people aren't in law enforcement. Like they have not been properly trained to deal with this kind of stuff, and they're posting stuff that compromise the investigation. Because like I said before, many years ago, people told me like you should not record other people without their consent. Even I suppose like this is like more like a California thing than like other states because other states you don't need two party consent. But if you're in California and you're recording people without their consent, those conversations are not admissible in court, right? Uh, so I don't really know how exactly you know this is going to affect the people who is being accused. All these allegations levied against all these individuals. I know the whole Pro Jared thing was bullshit. Like, he might have gotten into some trouble, but, he's still producing content. I don't know if he's going to jail or anything. But I think the ultimate goal for these so-called pedo hunters is actually to get people arrested and imprisoned, incarcerated, which is absolutely insanity. They care about their fame and their views so much that they're willing to ruin somebody's life without conducting a proper professional investigation. These people are not trained detectives. They do not have a career in law enforcement. I honestly don't know what they're doing. They're not following any sort of procedure. They're just like throwing darts at a board and hoping something stick. This is not justice, man. This is like insane people's version of justice. It's like back in the day or you have like the angry mob with a pitchfork and torch and they drag somebody out to the town square and burn the witch kind of situation, like a witch hunt. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. And there's no judge, there's no jury. It's just people making a whole bunch of content, targeting these individuals and trying to convince like people who watch social media that this person is absolutely terrible based on some videos that they recorded off their YouTube channel. So yeah, I feel really, really disturbed by this whole thing. And if this is like a subgenre of the toy community, honestly, I don't want to be any part of it. A lot of people have made all these allegations against people that I know on YouTube. And just looking at it, I'm like, dude, you have to think about these people have families, they have lives. And this is something that you're trying to destroy because you see something that you find to be questionable on their channel. And you're just going to go after them because, something just don't seem right. That I don't think that is for anybody and I don't think that's for anybody to decide. I think that's for the justice system. The judge get to make that decision. That's their job. They have to live with the consequences. It's not for the people to just make these random allegations without conducting a proper investigation. Yeah, in a way, people's like, well, CoffeeZilla do all these type of investigation. They catch like a lot of these criminals. Well, those are white collar criminals. Those are scams. There's a huge difference. There's civil and then there's criminal, right? Civil is like money related stuff. Like people who commit these civil crimes, they go to like minimum security prisons for like 25 years when they steal like $8 billion and stuff like that. Wow, people who are supposedly so-called pedophiles or violent criminals, they go to real prisons for 25 to 50 years. And those are two completely different environments. And the pain and the suffering that you put on their families, some people have to live with that. If you make that decision, regardless whether they are actually terrible or they're falsely accused, you have to live with that consequence. Like, I don't think people have people able to understand, how damaging it is to like just completely ruining somebody's life. People are so obsessed with their own personal agenda that they just don't care about another human being. Like, even if he's like guilty, he's doing all this like creepy stuff. What about the family members? What about their friends? What about all the people involved? A lot of people become guilty by association. So yeah, this is absolutely disgusting. I think this should not be part of the toy community at all. Like, I don't think people should be watching these type of content. If people find something really, really serious, it should be brought to the attention of the law enforcement and let the law enforcement individuals do a proper investigation on these individuals to determine whether, there's some, actual pedophile situation going on, or it's just a bunch of freaking people on the internet, like, witch hunting. And, like, people have been brought to suicide because of all of this stuff. And the people who are doing these type of content are hyperly aggressive. They're yelling and screaming at people, doxing people, collecting their information, literally just stalking them. And they'll say like, oh, I see a picture of you. Now I know where you live, and blah, blah, blah. Or I'm going to go to your house. Like, oh my God. It's like, when I hear stuff like this, it just drives me insane. And nowadays, like, people don't care about doxing at all. I watched that, other YouTuber video about there are no principles in this community. And just because someone dislikes somebody, they're actually willing to go out there, gather information to make this person look bad, and just completely destroy their life because they're jealous of something that they have, or like whatever it is on the channel. Dude, this kind of stuff happens all the time on social media. You see something that you become jealous, and then people think ill of that person that you're jealous of. It's actually part of the social media phenomenon, the jealousy situation. And yeah, like, people come up with all these insane things to accuse that person. It's like, oh, that person's a cannibal. The person's a pedophile. It's like, remember QAnon situation? Where they're accusing like people of like eating children and stuff like that. Yeah, this is all part of that. This is all the insanity of the internet, and it really needs to stop. And I don't think it's gonna stop, especially in the toy community, because most of us are just creating content that's, regardless how we think, it's gonna be consumed by children in certain capacities. At some point, people are going to be interacting with children, and they're going to be like, become a target for these pedophiles, hunters, pedo hunters. They're going to accuse you. They're going to say all kind of stuff. And yeah, it's just absolutely insanity. So anyway, with that being said, keep an eye out and spread the word. I think these type of behavior just needs to stop. I think if YouTube know well enough about the situation, I think, there should be a law that civilians should not be conducting private investigations without like a license. You can become a private detective, like a private investigator, but you have to be certified. You have to take courses. You have to understand law enforcement. You have to study, criminology in college, or get a degree in criminology before you are allowed to conduct this kind of investigations. Because everything I see doesn't follow any sort of procedure. It doesn't follow anything. And the things that people are saying to each other, it's more like drama, bullshit drama, than actual, factual information. It's just wrong. It's 100% wrong, and it should be stopped. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. Say, thanks for watching, guys.